Grilling season is upon us and we're faced with some really high meat prices right now. So today I'm here to show you some cuts that'll save you a lot of money and still allow you to get your grill on for the summer. First up is the flank steak. Because of the popularity of the skirt, the flank steak has become somewhat forgotten. So what that means is you get it for a lot less money. Basically, it's about half the price of what a skirt steak is. It is light, lean, versatile, great on the grill, good for fajitas, good for stir fry, for stuffed, which is a great way to stretch the meat, or for making pinwheels. So you can have a lot of fun with the flank steak. It's best when marinated. So I like to marinate it in a teriyaki type sauce using soy sauce, honey, sugar, minced garlic, rice vinegar, some Worcestershire sauce. Okay, then we're simply going to take our flank steak, slide it in the bag, close it, and around so it gets all covered. Then we're going to sit this in our refrigerator for a good 24 hours before we're going to go to use it. Flank steak is a little thick, so when you put it on your grill, you want to put it a little toward the back. 10 minutes on one side, 8 minutes on the other. You only want to flip things once and not poke them, and use your barbecue tongs. Now we have our flank steak done. Remember, you want to see the way the lines are running on the piece of meat, and that's where you're going to cut across. With the flank steak especially, you want to cut across the grain, otherwise you're going to have a tough time with the tenderness. You don't want to cut it too thick. You see how beautifully juicy this is? And that's how I like to serve that. Next we have the sirloin steak, a true steak cut and one of my favorites. This is the sirloin steak. You'll find it in the stores in these two ways. Like this, which is the straight sirloin, or like this, which has this extra piece, which is actually called the culotte. Do not be upset if your sirloin has that piece, because this is a very tasty, flavorful piece. It's a cut from the loin, which is where all the best steaks come from. Your porterhouse, your T-bone, filet mignon, then is the sirloin steak. So you don't get it confused with the sirloin tip, which is not from the loin, but from the round. Looks very similar, but will not be as tender on the grill and not as flavorful. You want to look at your labels, very important. It doesn't matter what the name of the steak is. The most important is where is it coming from on the animal. So when you look on the label for the true sirloin steak, you want it to say beef loin. When you look at the sirloin tip, it's going to say beef round. That's not the one you want for the grill. It's also a great steak when you're having people over, because one steak can feed 4 to 6 people. It doesn't need any help with a marinade. Its flavor and tenderness speak for itself. We're going to grill our sirloin steak. We're going to do 6 minutes on one side and 5 minutes on the other. Remember, using our tongs and only flipping it once so we can retain all that great flavor. Okay, now that our sirloin steak is done, it's time to slice it. Now, in the event you did get the piece of sirloin that had that culotte piece on it, you're going to take that little piece off. It's going to come right out of the way. Okay, and again, the way the lines run on the piece of meat, you want to cut across that. Okay, so it's always against the grain. And that is a phenomenal steak. Okay, now we come to the flat iron. The flat iron is the boneless top blade, which is from the chuck or the front of the animal. So it is a lot less expensive than any steak cut you would get from the loin, because it's not actually a true steak cut. But the top blade is actually considered the second most tender muscle in the entire animal. The connective tissue runs through the middle. You can buy it that way and use it that way. You just end up with a little more waste. You can see it's a very heavily marbled piece of meat, so it's got a lot of flavor. Once you take the connective tissue out, then it becomes the flat iron, which is a nice solid piece of meat, very heavily marbled, and when left whole, which is the way I prefer to cook it on the grill, it's going to cook exactly like you do a skirt, a flank, or anything else. This is a cut that needs to be marinated. You can do this 24 to 48 hours. We put it in our refrigerator, so we're going to be ready to cook it. Okay, now it's time to grill our flat iron. Again, a little toward the back of the grill. We're going to do 6 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other. Okay, now our flat iron is done and ready to slice. I like to serve this over peppers and onions, some black olives, and a little bit of pineapple. And again, you're going to cut this just like you would your skirt, your flank. Okay, so we get nice slices, a little bit of an angle. As you can see, look how beautiful this piece of meat looks. Okay, then we're going to take it and we're going to put it over top of our peppers, onions, accent that beautiful flavor of the chuck. So as you can see, beautiful meals that look fantastic, flavorful, and delicious. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks, Rachel. Happy grilling.